Welcome back everyone. This video is for the students of class 7th subject English, and this is our revision video. In this video we shall revise our lesson number 1, that is 3 questions, poem 1, that is the squirrel, and lesson number 1 of grammar, that is phrases, clauses and sentences. Okay, so basically in this video we are not going to read them in detail. We will just have a review of all these three topics. So let's start with our lesson 1, 3 questions. Basically this chapter is all about a king and his 3 questions. Now what were the 3 questions? The first one was, what is the right time to begin something? The second question was, which people should he listen to? And the third question was, what is the most important thing for him to do? Now, why did the king want to know answers to these 3 questions? He wanted to know answers to these 3 questions because he thought that if he got answers to these 3 questions, then he and his kingdom would never fail. Now, in order to get answers to these 3 questions, what he did, he sent his messengers all over the kingdom to get answers to his 3 questions, promising a large sum of money. Now, he sent his messengers to all over the kingdom and he asked them to give a large sum of money to the person who will answer his questions and who will satisfy him. Then he got different answers from different people. Obviously, because we are different people, we think differently. Then when he got different answers from different people, he was not satisfied and he did not give any reward to anyone. Then at last he decided to seek advice of hermit, who was known for his wisdom. Who is hermit? Hermit is a very simple man who lived in woods, a religious and simple life. Then king decided to go to hermit's hut all alone without his bodyguards and horses. Then he went there and he saw that hermit was digging the ground. He went to hermit and repeated his questions that, hermit, I am here to get my answers to these 3 questions. Please answer them. But hermit was not paying heed to him at all and he went on digging. Then king offered hermit help in digging. Then when they both were discussing this and they both were digging the ground, there comes someone running. Now who was that man who came running? He was a bearded man who had wound on his stomach and he was bleeding. He fainted and fell to the ground. When he fainted, then the king and the hermit helped him by washing and dressing his wound until the bleeding stopped. Then the man felt better. Then in the morning, when the bearded man woke up, he asked for king's forgiveness. Now the king was very surprised that he did not even know that person, and why was he asking for his forgiveness? Then the bearded man told the king that he swore revenge on the king as the king put his brother to death and seized his property. Now, listening to this, king was very happy and he promised to give his property back. And in return, the bearded man also promised him to serve him. Then the king again went to hermit and he asked his 3 questions. Then to his first question, that was, what is the most important time? The hermit answered that the most important time is now because it is the only time when we have power to act, when we have power to do something. Okay. Then to his second question, that was, who is the most important person? He answered that the person you are with in that particular moment is the most important person. Then to his third question, that was, what is the most important business to do? The hermit answered that the most important business to do is to do good. So these were the answers to his three questions, and now the king was satisfied and he left for his kingdom. So, what is the moral of the story? We learn that revenge is not the solution to settle the scores. The best solution is service to mankind and love. And this is the only way by which we can win the heart of even a sworn enemy as a friend. As you can see in the story also, the bearded man was sworn enemy of the king, but with his love and affection, he won him as a friend. So in the same way, we should also love everyone and we should also believe in service to mankind. The next thing which we learn is that the most important time to do something is now. That is our present time when we have power to do something and we should not waste it. We should not keep on thinking about our past and future. Okay, so now is the most important time which we should use properly. So this was your lesson number one, three questions. Now we shall discuss our poem number one, that is The Squirrel. This poem is being written by Mildred Bose Armstrong. In this poem, the poet is describing a squirrel and its nature. So this is the summary of the poem. The poet saw a squirrel sitting on a tree and eating nuts. Its tail was raised upward with the tip pointing downwards, thus the tail seemed to be making a question mark. Now in this, the poet is comparing the squirrel's tail with a punctuation mark, that is a question mark. It had a grey coat. It was so loose that poet calls it an overcoat. Then the poet compared squirrel's body or its fur with a overcoat of fur and grey color. In order to eat a nut, it was sitting straight. Then the poet tries to say that whenever a squirrel sit and eat a nut, it sits straight. Squirrel is funny little animal that likes to play with human being. Then he is saying that squirrel is a very naughty animal who likes to tease and annoy people in a playful manner. If human beings ran around his tree, the squirrel would not be frightened. It would like to tease and play. Here the poet is trying to say that if we generally ran around his tree, then the squirrel is not scared. It also plays with us. To do so, it would also run around the tree, but from the opposite side. So this was the summary of the poem, The Squirrel. Now here I have mentioned some key points of the poem. Just have a look on them. The squirrel is sitting on the ground. To poet, it appears in a different way. Poet feels that its tail is like question mark and body is covered with grey coat. And it is very naughty and likes to tease. So that was our poem number one, that is The Squirrel. Now we will revise our lesson number one of grammar, phrases, clauses, and sentences. In this chapter, there were three topics that were phrases and clauses, sentences, and question tags. Now let's start with the first topic, that is what is phrase. A phrase is a group of words with no subject verb combination and no complete meaning if used alone. For example, the sports car or on the table. These both are the examples of phrases because they are group of words but there is no subject verb combination. Now we shall discuss what is clause. A clause is a group of words with subject and verb combination and it also has complete meaning by itself. For example, while it is raining, in this example if you see, it is a group of words and it also has subject and verb combination. So it is a clause. Okay. Now we shall discuss types of sentences. Now remember one thing, that according to your PC Runs book, there are four types, that is declarative sentence, interrogative sentence, imperative sentence and exclamatory sentence. Now we shall discuss them in detail. The first is declarative sentence. These sentences make statements. Okay, these statements can be positive statements also and negative statements also. For example, if I say the book was on the table, this is a positive statement, and I am not hungry, this is a negative statement, but these both are declarative sentences. The next one is interrogative sentence. Interrogative sentences are used to ask questions and they end with question mark. For example, what is your name? Third one is imperative sentence. Imperative sentences express commands, requests, or desires. For example, please bring a glass of water, please give me your book, sit down, and they also end with full stop. So these are the examples of imperative sentences. The fourth one is exclamatory sentence. These sentences express strong feelings, okay, and they end with exclamation mark. For example, what a beautiful dress. So these were the types of sentences. Now, the last topic is question tags. What are question tags? Basically, these are short questions. Okay, a question tag is a grammatical structure in which a declarative or an imperative statement is turned into interrogative fragment. Okay, see, I told you that for question tags, you have to keep three things in your mind. That first one, if there is a positive statement, its question tag will be negative. Second, if there is a negative statement, its question tag will be positive. And third, that a comma is used to separate the statement and the question tag. Now see with the help of example, she is a good girl. It is a positive statement, so its question tag will be negative. So what will be the question tag? Isn't she? As you can see that I have used the same verb and same subject. So keep this thing in mind, that subject and verb in question tag will be according to the sentence. See the second one, a negative statement plus positive question tag. In example, you can see they are not playing. It is a negative statement, so its question tag will be positive, that is, are they? So this was your question tags. So this was our revision video for our lesson number 1, 3 questions, poem 1, the squirrel, and lesson number 1, phrases, clauses and sentences of grammar. Now on the basis of this revision, I have made an assignment for you which will be uploaded in homework column on EdQuack site. So your homework is that you have to do assignment based on lesson number 1, poem 1 and lesson number 1 of grammar, which will be uploaded in homework column on EdQuack site in your fair notebook.